Good evening, you're watching To The Point. I'm Preeti Choudhry. The big development today, finally, after days of deliberation, it's happened. Tamil Nadu has a new political alliance. The state of war in Tamil Nadu is only but heating up 1 year before elections. Viewers, speculations surround what was a potential BJP-AIADMK alliance and now which has been inked for the 2026 Tamil Nadu Assembly elections. Union Home Minister Amit Shah, currently in Chennai, confirmed that the AIADMK and the BJP will contest the 2026 Assembly elections together as part of the NDA alliance. While addressing a joint gathering of BJP and AIADMK leaders, Shah stated that the elections will be led nationally by Prime Minister Modi and in Tamil Nadu by Edappadi Palaniswami and the AIADMK. Shah also launched a scathing attack on Tamil Nadu Chief Minister M.K. Stalin, accusing the DMK government of being involved in multiple scams, including what he alleged was a liquor and cash for jobs scandal.
AIADMK और भारतीय जनता पार्टी के नेताओं ने मिलकर तय किया है कि आने वाला तमिलनाडु विधानसभा चुनाव AIADMK, भारतीय जनता पार्टी और सभी साथी दल मिलकर एनडीए के नाते लड़ेंगे। ये चुनाव राष्ट्रीय स्तर पर नरेंद्र मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में और राज्य स्तर पर AIADMK के नेता एड़ापाडी जी के नेतृत्व में लड़ा जाएगा। एक प्रकार से 1998 से AIADMK एनडीए गठबंधन का हिस्सा है और लंबे समय तक मोदी जी और महान जयललिता जी ने साथ में मिलकर राष्ट्रीय राजनीति में काम किया है। ये जरा भी सच बात नहीं। आज भी अन्नामलाई स्टेट प्रेसिडेंट, दैट इज व्हाई ही इज सिटिंग विथ मी।
All right, but the fact is now, if you heard the last question that was addressed, because you had Mr. Annamalai, who was the state president of the BJP, who had put in his resignation, no longer the state president, but BJP unit in Tamil Nadu has a new state president, Nayanar Nagendran. What happens to Annamalai? Well, sitting right next to Amit Shah. Lots of questions and speculations there. So the questions that we asked this evening before we cut across to our guests, the BJP-AIADMK alliance of convenience, it's happened before. One thing is very clear. The BJP and AIADMK have been friends with benefits, nothing too permanent. And that has been witnessed in India's political history where Tamil Nadu is concerned. The AIADMK, the Lok Sabha elections went solo, and now when it comes down to the state elections, will be fighting in alliance with the BJP. That brings us to our second question. Will Annamalai be accommodated at the centre? Because clearly both Mr. Amit Shah and the Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi, very, very fond of Annamalai. He was collateral in the alliance coming together because it seemed, sources tell us, the AIADMK had put a condition to this alliance, and that was that Annamalai stepped down. Why so? Because viewers, if you remember how the alliance had fallen out as well, was possibly the AIADMK very angry with Annamalai for calling Jayalalitha corrupt. What happens to him now? Lots of speculation there. The third question that we ask, will Tamil Nadu now be a three-cornered contest? Why do I ask that question? Well, it does seem the AIADMK coming in with the BJP. That's one corner taken. The other corner, of course, the India Alliance, which you'll have the DMK and the Congress fighting in. Now, the third corner contest, why? Because primarily you have actor Vijay, who is seen as one of the rising political stars in Tamil Nadu, and if recent surveys are to go by, he could be a force to contend with. So will Tamil Nadu now be a three-cornered contest? Let's take all these questions to our panelists this evening. Shekhar Iyer, senior journalist, joining me. Sumant Raman, political analyst, will be with us in just a short while. T.S. Sudhir, columnist and political analyst. T.S. Sudhir, let's begin with you. It was something that was speculated but very much expected, practically gone down to the T, where one thing was very clear, that Annamalai, could have been the collateral in all of this, but still very, very close to the top BJP brass.
Well, yes. I mean, I think the BJP has decided to move on from Annamalai as far as Tamil Nadu political affairs are concerned. And I think that's the template that's going to play out over the next 1 year. Naina Nagindran slated to become the next BJP chief. And that would be music to the AIADMK ears because he comes from the AIADMK. So AIADMK. So in that sense, the synergy between the AIADMK top leadership and the BJP unit in Tamil Nadu would expectedly be a much better than it was under Annamalai's leadership in Tamil Nadu before 2023. Having said that, uh, why was this alliance so important? Obviously, the alliance was important because of what happened in 2024. Both the BJP and the AIADMK realized that fighting separately is only going to give the election on a platter to the DMK-led alliance, and therefore they need to come together in order to ensure that at least on paper, 1+1 becomes 2. So the question is now whether the arithmetic will work, and if the arithmetic will work, more importantly, whether the chemistry will work between the two parties. And that is, I think, the more important question, whether the cadre of the two parties and whether the voters in Tamil Nadu actually believe the AIADMK and the BJP. What Amit Shah said today in Chennai is that the two parties are there for the long haul. Whether the voters believe what the Union Home Minister said, whether the cadre of the two parties also believe that it would make sense for them to transfer their votes to the other party depending on which constituency gets which party's candidate. That's, I think, the election would largely depend on that, because a lot is being made about how both the BJP and the AIADMK are very strong in the western part of Tamil Nadu, and therefore it would be pretty much a walk in the park as far as the Kongu belt is concerned. My point is that whether a candidate, for example, of the AIADMK who has nursed his or her constituency for years together, whether he or she will be willing to give it on a platter to the BJP and actually work for that party's candidate, a lot in this election will depend on whether this synergy actually happens on the ground in the summer of 2026.
Shekhar Iyer, it was, like I said, we've debated it multiple times as a possibility. It was only, a matter of time. But how do you think this alliance could play out? Because even on basic ideological issues, the AIADMK is standing against the BJP. Let's look at, what's happened off late, where, that anti-Waqf resolution was passed. You had the AIADMK standing with the DMK, be it on delimitation with the DMK, the two-language policy with the DMK.
Well, Preeti, they are coming together because they could be worse off without being together. That's one of the main reasons. Essentially, to prevent a split in the opposition votes, because that would give, if that were to happen, DMK would have a complete sweep. DMK has been talking about 200 seats plus. And coincidentally, today's development happened because Amit Shah decided to travel to Chennai and not return until this alliance is publicly announced. He reached there last night, and throughout this day, there were, his announcements were delayed, his press conference was delayed until they could manage EPS coming out to meet Amit Shah in his hotel, and then EPS in turn inviting Amit Shah to his residence for a high tea. These are, I would say, very symbolic, but they do convey a period of very difficult negotiations. And one main thing that is coming out today, as far as all these issues that have been mentioned, Waqf bill, your three-language formula, new education policy, Amit Shah today announced, they are going to go for a common minimum program. That's a very big development. And second thing is, he repeatedly said the alliance would fight under the leadership of EPS. So EPS would be the chief minister's face. That's another condition of EPS, was that he should remain the face of this alliance. So the BJP has gone in for this agreement because they consider three states are very important in this next year. That is Bengal, Tamil Nadu, and Kerala. And these are the three states where the opposition is very strong. So they were willing to walk the extra mile to see that the three states, the ruling parties, do not have it easy. Now, how difficult it is going to get for DMK? Well, there are internal turmoils in DMK. And coincidentally, today is a day Stalin had to sack one of his very powerful aide, Ponumudi, as the Deputy General Secretary of DMK, because he had made some sexist remarks, which was objected to by Kadimuri. And the person who has replaced Ponmudi is Mr. Tiruchi Siva, who is not exactly in the Kadimuri camp. He belongs to the other camp. So there are interesting things happening within DMK.
Right.
While we are focused on BJP, ADMK, all these developments will bring pressure on Stalin, on the alliance. And also there is one more development, Preeti, that is the turmoil in the Patali Bakkal Kachi between the father, Dr. Ramadas, and his son, Dr. Anpamani Ramadas, who was a union minister both in UP
Right.
and DMK. The father wants to go with DMK and the son wants to go with BJP-ADMK alliance. So there's a lot happening in Tamil Nadu. It's just not about
Well,
BJP-ADMK alliance.
Well, a lot happening, and we're going to touch on every facet. The two other questions we're going to come back and address, which is, of course, what comes of Annamalai. And the other big one is, will it be a three-cornered contest, which at least seems poised as one. But Sumant Raman, you've always had one of the juiciest conspiracy theories in all of this, that this is all an attempt to let this election coming next year go by and ultimately cannibalize the AIADMK and take the position of the AIADMK in years to come, where Tamil Nadu is concerned, for the BJP?
Look, even now, when I know it from sources in the AIADMK, they are still quite wary. They are going into this in good faith, but they are still wary of what the BJP's real intention is. Which is why, there was a press conference which was supposed to be at 12 o'clock. 2-3 things of important points have been considered by the BJP. One, that the AIADMK will lead the NDA in Tamil Nadu. Mr. EPS will be the chief ministerial face. And most importantly, also, the part which was allergic to Mr. EPS of readmitting OPS or TTV Dinakaran or Shashikala into the party, Mr. Amit Shah made it clear. He said those are internal matters of the AIADMK. So I think that those three are key demands for EPS. They have been conceded. Now it is for the BJP, it is to see how the central government would turn the screws on the DMK government. Now, Mr. Amit Shah, has been saying since yesterday, huge corruption. And the people quite honestly are asking him, what were you doing? What was the central agencies doing for so many years if this government has been so hugely corrupt? And I don't think for a moment anybody in Tamil Nadu believes the government is not corrupt. But the point is, what has the center been doing? Which is why the conspiracy theorists like me have been out in force, saying that nothing has been done, the screws have not been turned, and at best, one or two sporadic enforcement directorate raids followed by complete silence. So now, in the next 1 year, are we going to see any action? Is the 2G appeal going to be speeded up by the prosecuting agency? Lots and lots of things. So that's why I said,
Right.
my sources in the ADMK said, for today, they are cautiously optimistic, but they still do not have implicit trust in the BJP's intentions.
All right. I'll bring back T.S. Sudhir into this conversation. And T.S. Sudhir, the fact is this is going to be a three-cornered contest. But do you think this could have been the best-case scenario for the DMK? Because the possibility of having actor Vijay along with AIADMK, which at one point of time was contended with, could have been way worse of, political fallout for the DMK.
Well, actor Vijay and his TVK is pretty much of an untested electoral commodity in Tamil Nadu. So we really do not know whether this one-man party would really be able to set Tamil Nadu's politics on fire. We, of course, saw the C voter survey
Exactly.
which pitched him at number 2 as far as the CM standings are concerned. But I wouldn't really make much of it. At this point in time, I think people generally vote for the party which has the best chance of coming to power in an election. And at this time, I don't think Vijay ticks all the boxes as far as that particular factor is concerned. But yes, for the AIADMK and the BJP, this was the best possibility, as I said earlier. For the DMK, now this makes it a more of a tight contest. They would realize that the two parties, if they are able to synergize better, they would put up a formidable challenge in many of the constituencies, especially in the southern part of Tamil Nadu and to an extent, even in the northern part. So if that really happens, the DMK will have to get its electoral act, political act much together in many of the districts and many of the constituencies. They have 1 year to do that. But the fact that the BJP and the AIADMK have announced this 1 year in advance also shows that the NDA wants to ensure that they are as an alliance together for the next 1 year, so that the people also realize that they are in it seriously. Of course, talks will also have to be conducted with the smaller parties. Shekhar mentioned the problems which are taking place in a smaller party like the PMK between the father and the son. Very ironic that the father actually undertook a coup of sorts, a political coup of sorts against his son Anbumani Ramdas. So all those problems will also have to be sorted out. So the BJP here trying to be more like some kind of a glue, trying to sort out problems while projecting Edappadi Palaniswami as the leader. How this plays out and what would, in case the NDA does not manage to unseat the DMK-led alliance in Tamil Nadu, what it would mean for the AIADMK, that would be very significant. And I think that's where the kind of conspiracy theories Sumant has been coming up would really come into play.
Well, he's at least open about it. And Shekhar Iyer, to pull you back into this conversation, do you concur with T.S. Sudhir where he says, you know, actor Vijay, untested right now, we don't know whether it's more hype than substance. Do you concur with that?
Yeah, at this moment, Vijay is, foray into politics at this juncture. And he's still not able to give his full time because there is one more film that's still under production. That will probably release around Deepavali, and that's the time he will get free. But he has been holding party meetings. But the big conspiracy theory, Preeti, which is being shared by that Vijay himself is a prop of the DMK to split the votes. Because the film business in Tamil Nadu is such, and the ruling family in DMK has a big hand in the film industry. So no actor, politician can actually get into electoral politics, and Rajinikanth had a similar problem. So there is a lot of stories about why actor Vijay, who is behind him, why has he come on the scene, and whom is he benefiting actually by dividing the opposition votes.
Well, so it's conspiracy theory after conspiracy theory. Yes, I know, Mr. Raman, come in, make your point.
Yeah. I mean, Vijay is jocularly referred to as a work-from-home politician because he doesn't seem to enjoy the rough and tumble of politics. So even when there were floods, the victims of the floods were taken to his house to receive relief material. So the joke about him is he's not really, entered the fray full-fledged in terms of going out, meeting the people, and so on. We don't know what share he would carry. The other point is about the PMK. And remember, the BJP, the center has the Index Medical College case against Dr. Anbumani Ramadas, which is with the CBI. So there is a way of concentrating Dr. Anbumani's mind very well if they turn up the heat on that case. But all of these things are, where we don't know what the BJP actually wants to do. So they have the way the agencies have gone after the leaders of Aam Aadmi Party or the TMC or the JMM and so on. And here they've hardly been active in 4 years. So now there is going to be questions from the AIADMK. If that lethargic approach continues, then people would really want to know what is the BJP's real game if they're not actually going whole hog. But one last point, Preeti, and that is about Mr. Nainar Nagendran, the new state BJP chief. He comes from southern Tamil Nadu. He was an ex-AIADMK minister and left the party only in 2017 to join the BJP. So he has very good equations with the AIADMK High Command. And so this issue of seat sharing and all that is likely to be much smoother than it would have been potentially under Mr.
Right. I want to get all three of you, and I want to give you just 30 seconds. I apologize. That's all the time I have for now. What comes of Annamalai, the former state chief for the BJP? T.S. Sudhir.
Well, I think, if Amit Shah's tweet is anything to go by, he would be given some kind of a national role because given the kind of popularity he has as, he's seen especially on social media, his supporters would need to be told that he has not been sidelined, that he has been given a different role. And I think that should do for the time being, because right now they're putting all eggs in the AIADMK basket and Nainar Nagendran as the BJP man to coordinate with them.
Shekhar Iyer, what do you reckon? Will he be pulled back into the center, a more national role now?
No, Annamalai will remain in Tamil Nadu, but with the election of the new national BJP president, which is to happen shortly, it is quite possible he may be in the new team of office bearers. Possibly what I'm hearing is he could be one of the new general secretaries. And later, this is a tactical withdrawal of Annamalai. This is not he cannot be sidelined and he will be very active in the campaign. I don't think, and the fact that Amit Shah made it a point to say in a tweet that he has contributed to the growth of BJP in Tamil Nadu and he is part of that framework, the infrastructure of BJP. That's a very important message. And also, where a specific question was, he said, look, he's by my side. So, and because they wanted to send a message that they are not going for a change or the alliance is happening because Annamalai is being removed. So Annamalai will remain, but he will have a national role also. And it's quite possible in the months to come, if there is a Rajya Sabha vacancy, he may be elected to the
Okay.
upper house and probably
All
given
right.
a ministerial charge.
That's a fair lot, but Sumant Raman is shaking his head. He doesn't agree with you. Go ahead, Mr. Raman.
No, Mr. Amit Shah was asked this question at the press conference today. They asked him, will Mr. Annamalai continue in Tamil Nadu or will he go to Delhi? And his answer to that was, can you please allow us to manage our internal party affairs? He did not answer that question with an explicit, whether he would remain in Tamil Nadu. See, there is a great amount of negative sentiment between Mr. Annamalai and the AIADMK cadre. So throwing him into the campaign is not going to go down very well with the AIADMK. What I heard from multiple sources is that he would become a national secretary, not a general secretary, but he would become a national secretary of the party and, basically operate out of Delhi and play a low-key role until the 2026 assembly election, because they don't really want him, taking the limelight away from the alliance. That's very important.
Well, the fact is both, the Prime Minister and the Home Minister are very, very fond of Annamalai. So whatever it is, even if it's, a back step or sorts, it's going to be temporary. But I appreciate all three gentlemen for joining us. Thank you. There is only going to get more interesting in times to come. 1 year away, though. That's still 1 year away. Viewers, just look at it. We discuss Tamil Nadu as much as we are discussing Bihar. Similar amount of news coming in from the state of Tamil Nadu. We'll keep our eyes trained, getting you the latest.